I'm making this video specifically for the Ripple haters out there. This is a message that is essentially a time capsule, and years from now, I want people to look back in time and take the recording of this and just remember where Ripple was at the time of this recording and think about where Ripple's going to be going in the future. Currently it's the month of June in 2018, the end of June, and we're moving forward and we're starting to see the years like 2019, years like 2020. These are going to be good years for Ripple XRP. Let me tell you something. As we move forward and we see essentially the Internet of Things and all these various different things that make the internet more accessible into the day-to-day lives, and the establishment is very much aware of this. The greater establishment, the banks and all these different variables are very much on board with using technologies and leveraging cryptocurrencies because they want to be at the cutting edge just as much as everybody else, and they're not going to be left behind while these regular technologies are essentially making things a change in it. What's their response to technologies like Bitcoin and the space that is cryptocurrency? I mean, at the time of making this video, we see Bitcoin at 5,955. Do you really think that we're going to see Bitcoin last? Do you really think that we're going to be seeing Bitcoin, prosper and so forth? I mean, it's difficult to ignore all the different things that are happening with Bitcoin, and I'd say that Ripple being at the number 3 position, it is interesting to see how these variables are going to turn themselves out and how we're going to see, especially with the market cap where it is at 239 billion and Bitcoin dominance being at 42%. Obviously it's a bumpy road. There's a lot of volatility in the cryptocurrency space, but I think that this is also a window of opportunity opening up for these altcoins. And I think Ripple really is a catalyst, really a variable as far as in the running for what are going to be the technologies that might replace Bitcoin in the long term. And years from now, we might look back and think about Ripple. But there is also something more when it comes to Ripple. I mean, we've talked about the potential on a global level for Ripple to really change the way that things are functioning. And I think that as we see, these different variables coming together, Ripple is really positioning itself in a key substantial way that's going to be playing a big role as we move forward and we see these different things coming together in really a big way. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's happening with Ripple and as well what's going to be happening with XRP. I mean, you look at the roadmap, everything that's ahead. I mean, you do your research in regards to like the team that's working on these things and so forth. And it is interesting to see where this is going to be going in the next couple of years. I'm very much interested in seeing the potential that's in store for Ripple. I mean, right now, it's really going to be the technologies that are doing something. I mean, when I look at this list of cryptos on here, I always have to think to myself, what are these technologies actually doing in the real world that's going to be playing, a real valuable role in the way that we see things functioning in the future. And I think Ripple is really one of those technologies that's going to be playing a big role. I mean, right now, nobody's buying a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts using Litecoin, sad to say. I mean, I think that this is one of the big things that's playing a big role in the current situation and dynamics that we've been seeing with the market cap where it is as of currently. And I think as things continue to move forward, we see these developments taking place and so forth. We're going to see that the United States dollar and so forth still remains strong. The euro and the yen are still what people are using to buy a coffee. And cryptocurrency has its place, but I think that what we were seeing at the end of 2017 is still possible. I think the all-time highs of cryptocurrency are still in the future for us. I think cryptocurrency is of the future, and that's why I'm interested in this space. I wouldn't be spending so much time doing all this research into these different things if I wasn't interested in cryptocurrency. But it is interesting to see how these things have been moving forward nonetheless, and I'm definitely interested in seeing where cryptocurrency is going to take us. Definitely the community that's involved in this right now. I mean, remember, we're still very early in regards to cryptocurrency. I mean, it is a very big paradigm shift that's going to take a lot of different different steps moving forward. But I think technologies like Neo, technologies like Ripple, definitely things that I've been paying attention to for making real strides forward as far as the technology and the team and a bunch of these different variables. And I think that they're going to be competing with a lot of these other technologies as things continue to move forward. So a lot to look forward to on that regard. And of course, looking at the number up here, which we call the market cap, is 246 billion. And wow, Bitcoin dominance at 42% and a lot of red all the way down the board. But today we're going to be talking about Ripple and a lot of important things that we really need to be going over revolving around this technology. Now, I'm just basically making this for awareness. Don't get distracted by all of the haters out there who love to talk crap about Ripple. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an establishment favorite that is able to dominate in the world of regulations, that's able to overcome the rest of these technologies. And Ripple really is one of those cryptos that's a force to be reckoned with as we continue to move forward and we see the various different developments that are happening regarding cryptocurrency. Ripple's one of those technologies that these news articles are something that gets my attention. All right, Ripple on the verge of mega breakout from Global Coin Report in a market like this, talking about that. Very, very sneaky stuff happening behind the doors, behind closed doors involving Ripple. They're the banking cryptocurrency. A lot of times they get criticized for being that. People are afraid of regulations in the crypto space, but newsflash, if you have anything, if you complain about the volatility of cryptocurrency, but then you also complain about regulations, you're essentially a hypocrite, because one is eventually going to give way to the other, and whether or not it happens sooner or later, when more regulations come into effect, we're going to see a decrease in volatility. We're going to see and of course that'll also give a lot of power to these technologies that are favored by the establishment. And of course, I don't think that Ripple is going anywhere anytime soon. I think this is one of those technologies that's ultimately going to grow in popularity because of the various different usages that are coming from these too big to fail organizations that are essentially going to be playing a fundamental role in the development of the technology and the space in general. But of course, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Of course, I'd recommend that you comment down below sharing your opinion regarding these technologies, and probably go right ahead and follow Ripple on their Twitter as well, just because Twitter is a really great resource when it comes to gathering information regarding these technologies and staying up to date and aware as things continue to move forward. But yeah, I mean, these different news articles regarding Ripple are really something that's difficult to ignore from my perspective, at least. And pretty much all I can do is give you my opinion, let you guys know what I'm thinking. And of course, you probably wouldn't be subscribed to this channel if you didn't care what I thought. But I think that as we continue to move forward, I mean, we see Ripple in this number 3 position, but I think that there is a lot of potential for Ripple to overcome Ethereum and possibly even be one of the greater powers in the cryptocurrency space as we see things continue to move forward. And of course, with more and more people using the internet these days, more people getting online in the Internet of Things and so forth, I think that Ripple definitely does have an established place in the future of cryptocurrencies as we see things continue to move forward. So keep an eye on Ripple. I mean, I know this is a short video, but I mean, I think that it's important just to keep you guys up to date on what I'm thinking about, and I'm definitely paying attention to what's, I mean, these news articles don't come out of nowhere. There's definitely a lot of potential in store for Ripple, especially when you start talking about a global potential. I think that Ripple has really already exerted itself as having this sort of potential in store for it. I think over the next few years, 2018, 2019, these are going to be really big things that as they come to surface. So hope you guys have enjoyed this content. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.